Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we may have to pause for a beer run for Donovan.
Yeah, I'm good. But yeah,
He has.
I have two beverages.
He has people.
They're
for that.
alphabetical. One is clearly light and one is clearly dark. So if you choose A or B, that'll choose the side. Yeah. Okay. The A beer is a tattooed pumpkin. It's T and V. So
Yeah.
So T is A, which is light. So that's what's gonna happen.
All right. I think I was muted there. Best of 5, no time limit, no drink limit. Me and Donovan, finals 2020 fall. Bunch of hosts. Me and Donovan are going to mute. Donovan, I will call you on the phone. And then this game just kind of starts. So you're playing what, light?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you want a 3-way call me in?
Yeah, I'll call Josh in.
All right.
Is there a way to get both of their screens up at the same time in Discord?
No, I think you just have to click on each one as it comes up. The way I have mine set up is like you have like the little bubbles, so you get like kind of a preview screen of each one. And you can kind of see the boards, but you need like pretty solid vision for it.
I've got two up at once.
Yeah, I've got them both. I just pushed on one, and then I hid the non-video participants.
Yeah, click non-video participants in the 3 dots of the upper right-hand corner.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. Good job, boys.
Okay, that works. Okay, so for those that don't know, this matchup, you have Donovan's toolbox deck versus Colby's fighters. And I mean, Colby's fighters have been, if you watch some of his videos, have been doing a lot of work. And a lot of that work's actually from Black Squadron formation. You got like Black 2, he has 1 million pilots, and he can just soak up damage forever. And so like when you don't have Yoda in the pool to just deal 1 million guns to somebody, he just kills everybody. Or he can't be killed. And then the Black Tactus hurts everyone.
Josh, we can hear your phone.
We can hear you.
Yeah, that was Colby.
Can they? Yeah, is that checking out?
I can't tell.
They hear me?
Also,
We should.
Colby, can you pop up the deck list really quick? You had a display for that earlier while you guys are shuffling.
Hey, Josh. Is he in here still?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay. How likely do you think it is that Donovan will be able to extract value from Akbar's pod?
It also depends. Like, hang on, let me bring up his list really quick because he's not on.
From what I could tell, Akbar's pod is the only pod in his deck that has vehicles. So like when you think about like Rebel's Hope, or sorry, Noble Sack, he only has 2 targets for it. But if it can blow up the Baron Fell ship, that's pretty huge.
Yeah, or black too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to bring his list up really quick.
I do think his deck, or like this matchup, becomes a lot more petrifying for Colby if he finds resourceful survivors versus if he doesn't. Because like there's some of his events that are just going to come down to timing, and that objective giving you the ability to always have perfect timing is pretty disgusting. Like in particular, if he can rip the enhancement destruction at perfect times, Colby's going to be super duper sad.
Yeah, I mean, just you can actually walk the pilots out then if you can get rid of Baron before they untap.
Let's see what else he has here. K2 could be interesting too, because like Colby doesn't have a great way to deal with it, I don't think. Like Colby doesn't have any like direct kill. So if K2 actually gets to attack, he's gonna get a shot off. And Donovan can realistically win edge as long as he doesn't have to deal with what's it called? Baron Fell and a million little fighters.
Yeah, and the other like Donovan has this like ton of tricks in this toolbox. Like the other thing he can link up is if he links up the Akbar 2-drop ship with Jan Ors and just keeps bouncing that, making Colby like kill fighters every turn.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would actually be pretty funny if he did that. I think we would see a complete salt mine come out from Colby if that happened.
Yeah.
I also really just want to see Mirax at the table, because in this type of deck, there's enough events that get the discount that Mirax can just go bananas.
All right, so Donovan's objective.
Ooh,
He does
that
have
sucks.
one Jan objective though, which is pretty huge.
Is that double defense protocol?
Yes, it is.
Eesh. That could be rough for him. He's gonna need like to find all the big bodies. Like he can't play like a Winter, sadly, or even Jan. So that's like 4 pods out of his deck, where the mains aren't key.
He does have Sabine's armor, I guess, is an option, but it's only a.
Can you tell me what Colby's top objective is?
I think it's Black Squadron formation.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that's right.
Note he is on Scum affiliation just to make it easier to play It's Beautiful and have it stick.
Yeah, he has no scum cards in his deck.
He did float $1, which is very strange. Like you'd
What?
think he'd have 1 to spend somewhere on like a pilot resource or a small pilot or anything. So that's kind of encouraging for Donovan. Because also it probably means he doesn't have 2 2-drops in his hand. So if he can get away with not attacking, Colby's probably not going to have a great turn next turn.
Yeah, that's the probably best defender in Colby's deck, and really sad for Jan objective, because usually like Jan objective you can attrition shit away, but
I mean, if Donovan finds a freehold return one, that'd feel great.
and how many stay on targets is Colby on? Like 5.
Yeah.
All right, so that Black 2 is probably gonna have a second gun pretty soon.
Does Willard have 3 health?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be a bad turn 1 play. You could take the Force, force Colby to have cards to play from his hand. Or at least bodies.
And also, I mean, even if you drop like something that he kills with the defense protocol, and Colby's not doing a ton else, because he already didn't have money. So if he's double defense protocols, he's probably not. He's not drawing any new cards. So he's gonna still come out slow.
Hey Josh, what objective could Donovan have had as his fourth objective to where he would bury it for a second winter objective?
He might have had double Jan and just been afraid of having 2/4 health objectives out. I mean, I think I would start them both just to rain damage anytime anything dies. He could have also just had the false report and buried it.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe he had Honor Among Thieves and he values a red over a yellow. Possibly, I don't know. This opening is not sexy though.
Nope. But it's not horrible either. Like, he's gonna have a shielded black tactics on the table for next turn. So like Colby will have a tough time attacking into it.
Now, did he leave his yellow money or red money open?
Who, Donovan?
Yeah.
It's all tapped.
He's tapped out.
Wait, what am I missing here? Did he play a card that I didn't see?
Akbar money.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Looks like he's just passing conflict.
Which is probably fair. So I guess how Colby uses the defense protocol will illuminate what's in his hand. Because if he doesn't use them, he's definitely digging, right?
I don't know that you, unless you have like a offensive turn, like unless he has like a bunch of attack coming out, you don't use it here.
Because I'm thinking Colby's hand might just be full of like fake cards.
Oh, he had stuff in his hand he liked. Draw anything new.
Ooh. Well, that's pretty good. I guess Colby, it's kind of tough for him to attack here, unless he has heats.
Well, I mean, if he wins Edge, he gets the pilot. And
He could have a Seeds, maybe. He has a Howl Runner in discard, right?
yeah, so if he has a stay on target, and wins Edge, he kills that guy.
So he has 3 cards in hand. Donovan has 4. So, I mean, Donovan should be able to win Edge.
Yeah, I'm thinking Colby probably has the seeds with this attack.
Did he just say put everything in?
No, he has Edge 1. He's passing, and
Okay.
he's just showing his hand. Which either way, this would be a good time for Donovan to have one of his twists, I guess. Not sure why he committed both his guys, though.
Maybe he has another one of those chuds in his hand and he wants to be able to untap them.
Yeah, but you wouldn't need to untap him if he didn't have the extra focus to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, it is weird. Then again, he's drinking, so who knows? He's activating the ability to see lines mere mortals can't see. Oh, the seeds.
Yeah,
Yep.
that would have been a good time for a twist. All right, so now Donovan's gonna have a deck clear board and 3 damage on his objective.
Wait, didn't Donovan win edge there? 'Cause not-
Did he have 5 pips?
I thought he had 5.
Okay, yeah. So his guy will live, but he'll be overtapped.
Uh,
Yeah, because black gun, black bomb from the tie.
yeah, I mean, this ain't that bad for Donovan. Like he prevents 2 additional damage, and his guy gets to refresh because he uses seeds on him.
Yeah, and he'll have a shield. So
And Colby pitched 2 cards and he has 1. Okay.
yep, Colby's on 1 card. Feel better about this turn if he had 1 less overtap on that Akbar money, but see
Yeah,
what he can do
fair.
with $4.
I think if he can hold off for another turn, but he needs to have guys with health, because Colby could just double protocol to kill the guy. So he needs something that can make it so Colby doesn't want to attack him again.
I don't know. I think if he double protocols to kill a guy, that's a kind of a win for Donovan too.
Ooh, no faith.
In terms of like, yeah, then he'll only
No faith in Colby for his own deck to defend.
yeah, that's a weird attack for 1 unopposed. Maybe he's just hoping that he gets to get a free attack.
Because Donovan might have another one of those guys in his hand.
Yeah, I mean, 1 more tactics will overlock that. And Donovan's got a fair amount of tactics in his deck. Those freeholders do cost 7 now, so
Oof. So if his churn is like, if he can find a swindle, that'd feel pretty good.
or a Janors.
Well, Jan just dies though.
Not before she locks up some ties and gets like 3 damage out.
Let me see here. A Jan plus a
Jan infiltrate will
yeah. Then you if you can pop one of the objectives, now you're cooking. Because then she actually lives and you overlock a bunch of stuff.
I don't know, like if you get a Jan through and he goes down to 4 cards, then he's on 4 cards and no units. So like Colby's next turn will be pretty unimpressive because like he'll have to play a unit or 2, and there's no unit in his deck really that's worth blocking with aside from black 2. So like I guess so he can maybe save backstabber money. I guess sure. But like if you overlock that black 2, then it's gonna be way easier to attack into Colby. Because I mean, look, like unless he's dropping the 7 cost unit, I don't know that I care about attacking into anything else in Colby's dark side deck.
Not even Delta 1.
He's expensive.
Yeah, then he's
Look at
having
that money.
Delta 1 and nothing.
Oof.
All right.
Yeah, maybe you can still infiltrate maybe.
Uh,
Hopefully.
I mean, if nothing else, Merrick's is 2 bombs and an overlock on black 2. Also, Donovan's going into next turn with like $10.
Yeah, I mean, this is where you really, really, really just got to pray for the infiltrate. Or if you can also infiltrate like the another Winter Chud.
All right. So yeah, Donovan's definitely getting a free Willard event off.
Yeah, he has to have something if if he taps the wrong guy.
All right. Now big call here from Colby whether or not he kills that Mirrex.
I think he should. Because like Donovan doesn't really have a scary board here. Even if he's overlocked, like the chances that Donovan can make him pay without a Mirrex on the board is pretty low. Unless he just draws all the fatties next turn.
There he goes. All right. So Colby's playing off his top cards. So he's definitely wanting units.
Yeah, like Backstabber, the shielding guy. Who else would he want? The targeted strike guy could actually be okay if you get rid of the extra body and just gamble for a turn. Presuming you have like a stay on target to get the elite.
That's the targeted strike one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, 2
and
guns.
he has 2 guns.
Yeah. And he has backstabber money still. They're notable. Colby hasn't found an extra dollar yet, but he's not really that heavy on them, right? Oh no, he's
Nah,
good.
he has stay on targets. Those are his money. So I wonder if Donovan does have a bunch of big cards hanging back because he didn't pitch, and you'd think that if you have all this money next turn, you just want to try to draw into big bodies. So maybe he already has them and he's just waiting.
Colby also has like an extra fear freeholder, so like that may be influencing his defense protocol decisions.
Freeholders cost 5 now, right? Because he didn't pitch anything, I don't think.
Yeah. Also, strangely, yeah, he didn't have another stay on target, so that Baron's gone for now. Hey, Bill, can you throw on a push to talk?
Definitely got her the shoulder.
Noise.
Good shoulder.
All right, here's where we need a big turn from Donovan.
Big turn from Donovan and pray you don't run into a backstabber.
He's running into a backstabber. We already know it.
Her looks sweet right now.
Hey, Bill, can you hear me?
Can't believe I got to hold 2. Well, actually, I got to hold all 3 kittens. This got one picked her up this morning. Better.
I'm thinking maybe he has a few big units he's trying to pick between now.
Yeah. He might be in a situation where the amount of money his guys cost adds up to like 11. Or maybe it adds up to exactly 10, but he wants to play a trick.
I think I saw he flashed his hand a bit there. I think I saw some Jan money. Yep.
Oh yeah, because I guess that can influence it too. It's like, do you think you'll need to hold a guy back for force or not? Ooh.
Yeah, no defense protocol now.
Now I do wonder why he didn't triple tap the Akbar objective for Winter there.
Well, that does leave a nice even $3 for Akbar himself.
How much defense does the Backstabber have?
Hmm?
How much health does Backstabber have?
What is it, like 2? I think it's 2. But I've always found with Backstabber, you kind of don't want to kill it. You just want to try to overlock it if possible, especially when he has the objective out.
That's fair. I think he only has 1 red money though.
Yeah, it's true. So he can't pick it up and play it in the same turn. Well, I mean, that could change at any minute with Mick money, so.
Ooh, this is a sad turn.
Yeah.
Unless you know for sure the Akbar's coming, like, I don't know. Because he floated how much money?
4.
Yeah, 4. That's rough. I
think
guess bouncing the Howl Runner is nice though.
Yeah. He's trying to bait Colby into an attack here. Also, maybe trying to get Colby to spend money to get past the.
Yeah, I guess you don't know for sure he has a Backstabber, but if you're pretty sure that the Backstabber's there and like your attacker would have been nullified and now Colby gets an extra body,
Yeah,
maybe it's not worth it.
Also, like, would have just killed Winter. Oh no,
Well,
armor, I guess, but yeah.
Like let's say Donovan has like a K2, right? But I don't know, like Donovan might just not have another guy.
I think if he had a K2, he just drops it and swings because K2 can't be touched by Backstabber.
Oh, okay. Or maybe a Han.
Or no, maybe that's only combat icons. It might be only
Maybe.
combat icons. Yeah, I don't have them in front.
It says card effects or oh, it's targeted. I forgot. Backstabber doesn't target.
No. Oh, the other thing Colby could have had was the event, the Emperor's Sword event.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Colby has what, like 3 ways he could just shut down an attack for $2. The other thing is Donovan really wants to find a twist here at some point because we know there's going to be a mountain of stay on targets coming, and there's a lot of juice in that discard pile.
He has a Fell.
He has a Fella and
Mythal.
the Night Beast or whatever.
Oh, Night Beast.
Yeah, which on the on Black 2 is like that thing is going to be in every battle. Oh no, it is committed though, so it's not as big a deal.
He tapped his red money, so that's good. And then he's paying. Oh, never mind.
Now the Emperor's Sword event works on the defense too, so. But it won't be able to get the Akbar, but if he blocks with Winter, he'll be able to tap Winter.
Now, do you think Colby should have just done 2 damage to Winter?
The armor gives only 2, right?
Yeah, I think he probably should have. Unless he, I don't know, unless he was digging.
I don't know. Him not having, if he had pilot money out, maybe, but like him having to pay full cost for these pilots is kind of rough. Oh, also her going on the Black 2 instead of the 181st is interesting. I wonder if he has a. Oh no, he's not running well equips.
Yeah, I would have put her on the what's it called?
Yeah, the 181st.
No, the other one. Yeah, the targeted strike guy.
Yeah, because with her on it, like everything has protect for it, right?
Yeah, unless he just really wants the 1 damage soak.
Yeah.
And then Colby already burned his 1 seed. So if he attacks, Donovan knows like Winter is going to get her shot off. Did he just commit 3 dudes? Yeah.
Well, yeah, one was already committed.
Oh, okay.
The black 2's been committed from the beginning.
So Donovan can pretty easily take the force here if he just drops 2 bodies. Need a 3 and a 2.
Is that 6?
Because like 181st doesn't have a pilot on him. So like Colby can realistically take the force back if like say he stay on target to fell. But there has to be an engagement before that. So Donovan could just draw into some pips here. He
Yeah,
could lay them down, kick the Howl runner back, and then just sort of sit for a while.
either player overextending can be pretty bad. For Donovan, I think he definitely needed to have a bit more damage out at this point in order to have like a big turn to be able to close it. Because now like Colby can just play the waiting game, and if Donovan overextends, just close out.
What's the dial at right now?
I think 6. Which is the danger zone for freeholder decks, because like Colby's never going to blow up an objective until he's going to be able to win the game that turn. So now he's actually where he can blow up 3. Which
Donovan has 1 yellow money.
Colby's is 3 blast short of blowing up 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think Donovan realistically he either needs to find like a massive turn here, which is unlikely because he's up against 5 cards, or he just needs to sit and just kind of ping some damage out to enable his big turn later.
Yeah, he's against 4 cards because he played the tie and the pilot.
Oh, okay. Okay, there's the 3. But this is definitely going to be a sit turn for Donovan because like Willard is just not an offensive presence.
Yeah, and like nothing he really plays is going to be able to attack into that gun show he has there. And the Willard event's already gone, so like there's not much he can do.
Is it New Hope gone? I don't think so, right?
No, but New Hope's not going to really do much. It's going to bounce the neutral tie.
Well, I mean for the following turn.
Yeah. Also, for our listeners out there, I suggested beforehand the Donovan challenge, which is, as we know, Donovan has some brews going. If Colby ends up ahead 2 games, then Colby has to drink. If Donovan ends up ahead by 2 games, Donovan has to stop drinking. So we're like, it's like a handicap for either one of them, pretty much. Like
Yeah, you got to remove the
Donovan
steroids.
getting the DTs, yeah.
That's got to hurt a little bit, right?
Yeah. I think at this point he just wants to try to be able to grab the force back to buy more time. Because if
Does
he doesn't
Donovan
get
just not have bodies? Because I'm looking at him like he's like floating money again.
yeah, and he's a little bit lower on tricks. Like I guess he could be saving the New Hope at this point. But with a Jan objective with a New Hope, like ideally he wanted to go wide, and he hasn't been able to go wide because his stuff has just been dying. But to have that big turn, like where you attack one objective with like 6 guys, and then New Hope most of them to hand to murder the defenders.
Do you think he had that Akbar last turn?
Absolutely, yeah.
So, like his position is just a lot better if he would have done this move last turn and just played the Akbar. Because like now he's just in a pretty rough spot. He has like no blast cooking, and he needs to set up for the big turn.
Yeah, neither of those guys are elite. So like, if I'm Colby, I maybe attack just to try to get him to do something with those units.
Yeah, and then
Like,
Colby just having that
Colby playing
double
the pile
defense
is good.
protocol is gross too.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when your deck is full of 2 health mains. Because let's see, he's got 2 Jan, a Han, an Akbar, and 2 Winters. So like 6 pods of his deck, the main has 2 health.
Is Colby really replaying her?
I'm thinking he's gonna try to take the force.
Well, he can already take the force because there's only 5 pips out there.
Yeah, I'm thinking we definitely see Colby like sacrifice a random tide and attack just to try to get. Oh no, he passed. I think I definitely would have sent even maybe even like the 181st or something. Because if he yeah, honestly, she might have been better on the ground, maybe.
But yeah, you don't want her to just keep getting pinged back because she's only a pip.
Yeah.
It's like at some point that edge is going to kill you.
But again, Colby floating those $2, so he has one of his 3 tap tricks. The problem with both of them having tricks and sitting on them is eventually Colby just wins if neither of them do anything. So he has some really costly freeholders. Still.
I mean, at this point, you might just pay full cost for him
What
because
are
you
they,
got all the money. So it's not like he's starving for cash.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Colby's definitely like above and beyond on the tap tricks because he discarded one of them. Like when you have an extra one to pitch, then yeah, we see Donovan with a pro discard. Stupid freighter pilot, freighter captain.
So he had that last turn. I don't get why he didn't just play it.
I'm thinking maybe he's sitting on the New Hope, which I guess is another thing just for playing the pile and doing nothing else. Is that the New Hope isn't really hurting Colby. So maybe he was hoping to get a turn where Colby plays like 2 guys, and then he can New Hope and have a decent turn.
Yeah, I would really want to ask Donovan after the game what cards he didn't play because he just floated so much mana this game that I find it hard to believe that he couldn't play anything with all the money he's had.
The other thing too is that he may be staring at a hand of 2 health mains and just not wanting to waste putting him out. Because like even a Han here pretty much does nothing. Like
But I mean, he just played Akbar, right? So like, if you play the main, you're basically trading resources for 2 cards in Colby's hand every turn, which isn't that big of a deal if you actually spend the resources.
yeah, it would have been much nicer for the Akbar to do something other than just take the force.
But yeah, like that Fringer right there, that guy would actually be really useful to him on the board. Because if he can build up enough of a critical mass of a board, he can engineer a situation where he can win the game in 1 turn. But you at some point just need the blast, and that's where just having derps helps.
Yeah, I think even he said it on the call, like he's definitely afraid of attacking into a tapping event. Like even if he played a freeholder and swung with it, like it just gets tapped to an event and just 2 random ties put enough guns in it to kill it.
Well, a freeholder takes the force. That's relevant, and doesn't die to the objectives.
And he pretty much has to have that Han be a bottle rocket. Oh no, he's going to straight to committing.
I wonder if there's any way that he can utilize the Han. Like, could he use like a Oh well, he doesn't have yellow money open, so never mind.
Yeah, Donovan not having other yellow money, because then he could have maybe done the freeholder event and gotten black 2 out of the way. But
So yeah, this would be where I would want to ask Donovan if he had that Han last turn, because he float $4.
I think, yeah.
So he could have pretty easily played the Akbar plus play the Han plus play the Willard. Like if you would have had all three at the same time, you lose one of Akbar or Han, which sucks. But then you have the other two, you keep the force, and you're putting more pressure on Colby. Because then also it's like the Howl Runner would go away before you would have to decide how you want to make your attack. And what's the dial at right now? Is it 8?
Yep, it's at 8.
So at some point, if you're Donovan, you maybe just try to swing for game points. Because this is starting to look really bleak.
Yeah. Like even if he finds like Akbar, Chud, and event and clears out the black 2 and the Delta, like I just don't know that he finds enough blast to end it.
But he should be able to have one turn where he gets at least one objective. And on a miracle, he can get 2.
But this is finally a turn where Donovan can play something and attack and not worry about getting tapped before even the edge.
That's fair. If you're Donovan, you better hope you have your twist here.
I think he's just playing it to get it out of his hand, honestly, and to clean the board up a bit. Ironically, also, if he is sitting on freeholders, the freeholders are going to be 3 cost now. But you can only play 1 anyways because he only has 1 yellow money.
Wait, did he play it or discard it?
He's playing it.
So the neutral guy and then
I think we're
the
figuring out
interceptor?
the phase that it's being played in right now.
You'd probably want to play it during the conflict phase, right?
No, because then he can actually take the force.
But I mean, Colby's going to take the force anyways, because he only has 5 pips.
5 to 6, yeah. Yeah, I think
So this forces them to commit the extra guy.
Yeah, he ended up doing it in force, but I think he afterwards he's like, oh, I should have done that in combat, because then maybe you would have gotten a Delta committed.
So now Colby has 5 cards in hands, 2 of which are 1 pips. Right?
Yeah. And we know another one is at least the sword event and or backstabber. Which
Backstabber is 1 or 2 pips.
I think 2, maybe 1. I should have just built the decks and brought them over. See, I think Cricket's really at the point where he can only play for points. Gonna clean objectives up with 2 total blasts on the table.
Wait, did he just discard a twist?
He discarded a twist. Oh, there goes the maneuver.
Ouch.
But at the same time, he couldn't have played a yellow unit and outmaneuvered anyways. Because he only has 1 yellow money.
Yeah, this feels like he's digging for bodies.
Yeah, if he did it in, if he did the New Hope and conflict phase, then at least he could have maybe tried to go wide here, just to make him block and overcommit. Or honestly, Colby probably just lets the damage go through and lets Donovan get a few points. But alright, we have an intel operative attacking the top objective by himself.
What a weak attack.
I mean, he kind of needs to save Winter to block. So his only other option is send the no blast unit or the 1 blast unit.
I guess you're hoping for an infiltration for someone. I don't know who he could even get at this point.
He could probably infiltrate Janors. Get a little bit of blast out. And get some taps out. Like honestly, if he pops in Jan and taps Black 2 and Delta, then he can do a legit attack with Winter to maybe get some overlocking.
It is weird that Donovan's leading with the card here. So Backstabber's gone. I kind of feel like Colby knew the twist was coming and just didn't play stay on target. Presuming he has one.
Yeah, I think Colby might be dumping here to try to find blast to close out. Actually, he has blast enough to close out if he can deal with Winter somehow. He can also carry the neutral tie over for like.
Like I said, I think Donovan passed, right?
Yep, and here comes the stay on target.
I feel like he should have dry passed the first time. And then if Colby plays a card, you drop the twist.
Yeah, you just need to stop the stay on target. Alright, Black 2's burnt for the turn. Protecting the damage from the Janors. Objective.
Is Donovan's turn just going to be commit the chud and pass? Because this is looking pretty depressing so far.
Yeah, I mean the other option too, Colby could have just grabbed the Night Beast out and put it on Delta 1, and then just shut down all the rest of Donovan's attacks from this turn. So Colby just needs to buy a little bit of time.
Yeah, that's fair. Like the middle objective has, let me see here. Is
Like,
that
if he
3? Or?
Night Beast
Yeah,
on
3 damage
Delta
there.
1, there's nothing else he even needs to block with the rest of the turn. I think he even said something about that on the voice afterwards. At this point, maybe you just send Willard and hope Colby doesn't even bother blocking. Get one extra game point for game 5.
Yeah, or something. How many cards does Donovan have at this point? Because I wonder if Colby can just guarantee that he wins next turn. Because he doesn't have enough tactics to get Winter out of the way.
I mean, the problem I think is the shield on Winter for Colby. Because like whatever attack he does, she just blocks the first one, overtaps the neutral tie in Colby's hand. So yeah, I mean, Donovan decides here whether he wants to go for. He probably won't even get 1 point, honestly, if Willard attacked. The other question is if you're Colby, like, there's probably not much Donovan can drum up in a turn or two. So do you just like wait another turn or wait 2 turns to your 11 to blow up 1 objective? Like,
Yeah, he might just chill as long as Winter's there.
okay, so we have another attack going at
Did I infiltrate? Wait, what's he playing there?
he's cross firing on the
Okay.
strike.
So when you play Crossfire, do you get to draw the card before you see,
No,
or before you choose the icon?
no. Actually, that's what they were wondering now. Yeah, because Willard's like a reaction after playing an event. So the event will fully resolve. Alright, he's getting a tactics with the crossfire.
Sure.
So yeah, the question is whether or not you he's finding the crossfire. You choose the icon that he's getting, but then he'll get to draw the card before he sees where he wants the tactics to go.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we got a tactics on the black 2 and an unopposed. So he might be pushing here to try to crack an objective. Which he's currently 1 blast short on. Because that tie can just stand in front and have 5 health soak up. Nope. He is ending conflict.
Yeah, Colby probably just chills for a turn. I mean, you know you're going to draw Baron Fell, so I guess if you draw the Baron Fell, that's edge 3 if you really need it. So maybe at that point you're like, just send everything at one of the objectives and try to win edge, because both the twists are gone too.
Yeah, so the crossfire there got Donovan the unopposed. Or as opposed if he saved it here, he could have maybe gotten 2 tactics out with Winter. Oh yeah, also Donovan's yellow money is open too, so we might be able to see a game-ending swing get bounced by a swindle.
Yeah, I was really hoping Donovan would have a what's it called, infiltration there. Because like if he has an infiltration in his hand, if he swings with Willard to the bottom, I'm not sure Colby can block that. And then you infiltrate a guy in, and then you pop an objective, maybe get another tactics or something.
Yeah, I mean the idea would have been like a, I don't know, maybe infiltrate Jan, then bounce the 1-drop to have more, bit more of a hand for edge for Colby attacking that. Or even bounce Willard for his 3 pips.
So Chud is back. And then he's debating whether or not to play Fel.
He's playing Fel. I think he's trying to decide where Fel goes because he really likes his black 2 texts. Yeah. So he wants to put it there, but he's afraid of this window.
That's fair. I mean, I don't know, man. I think you throw it on black 2, commit the 4-drop ship, and then just sit there. Because like a swindled can actually blow you out, whereas like, or okay, blowout's the wrong word, but like it can give Donovan some hope.
Yeah.
Whereas Colby has this game pretty much in the bag, so I think you just kind of want to prevent scenarios where Donovan can get back into it.
I mean, the other option is even if he swindles the Fel on the 181st, like he can still take the force back, and he still has like his only 2 good blockers in his deck out on the table. But yeah, he definitely wants to get that edge 1 out just so Donovan's attacking in is like a nightmare still. Also, possibly he might have pitched all of his tap tricks.
He pitched 2 already, so he has at most 1.
So yeah, because if he had another one in his hand, I feel like he would have just played the Fel and not even bothered playing the 181st. I'm kind of curious now what the bottom objective is. So I feel like a lot of his turns may have been dictated by only having 1 yellow out.
Yeah, that's where you really got to wonder. Like, what could he have possibly had? Because double forward reconnaissance would actually be pretty dope. Because like you can trigger twice, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Double forward recon. It's great. It just shreds things. The other thing is it's probably the false report, but it might have been worth just putting the false report on the table at the start, because then Colby like maybe feels safe from it, possibly overextends.
That's fair.
So like, you know, when Colby's afraid of the false report, he's going to be really conservative with his play. Oh, I think. Oh, I get their call dropped, or Donovan dropped out of the call. Or his phone
Okay.
died or something. Hell, you guys are both in New York. Get the tin can and a string. All right, so while they're sorting this, looking pretty grim for Donovan here. He's gonna maybe try to squeeze an objective blow, an objective kill to get some points.
Yeah, I mean, I think his his path to winning the game was honestly he needed to use his resources more aggressively because he's kind of just been sitting there. And it's not like Colby's out here with like these really strong turns to counteract it. So like he could have outpaced the damage that Colby's objectives were dealing.
Yeah, Donovan's deck definitely likes to go wide, and maybe, especially like with what we've seen him edge. Like I think only one unit went into the discard that wasn't on the table. So he seems to be just finding like all his money and tricks and just not the bodies for it. Because he definitely had... Yeah.
All good. Yeah, I do wonder how much different this game looks if Colby doesn't flop double of the objective. Because like I'm looking at Donovan's list now, and there is just like a lot of 2 health mains in his deck.
6, right? I think there's 6 2 health mains.
So he has 2 Winter, 2 Jan, 1 Han, and then 1 Akbar. Yeah, that's a lot.
7 Merrick's.
Well, Mirrex isn't a main; she's a chud.
She's a main resource. I mean, she's like an elite 2 money with tactics attached. That's good. Must be an apple, right?
Was it Donovan's phone or Donovan himself?
He's not even 140 at this point. He made it. We don't know how much pre-gaming he is.
You just got to give him 2 extra beers, and then he'll fully rev up to full speed.
Colby, you only have 1 instance. Yeah, only 1 instance in this Discord. Because alternately, you guys could just hop to a different channel, but you wouldn't be able to record what we're saying. Sounds like we're getting a restart on the Brainiac phone. I think maybe Donovan fiddled with the numbers too much on his phone. Bumped them up by 1, down by 1 too often. Okay, they have voice again. Okay. Okay, we're back to refresh phase with an observation point. Yeah, Donovan lets him keep a stay on target. Doesn't matter. I figure Donovan thinks if Colby gets another turn, it's over no matter what, anyways.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
You're kind of in too deep at this point to worry about the pilot.
Colby's safe to just sit back another turn and just take one objective when he hits 11 too. Like Donovan just doesn't have any pressure on right now for Colby to be like, scared of.
How many cards does Colby have? Did he use his objectives last turn?
He did not. I think he played just.
So you have 4.
Yeah, because he played the tie and fell, right? All right, so we're on 12 bucks, but only one of it's yellow. Which he could have fixed, but he discarded the paint job. Discarding the paint job yells to me that he's digging for units. Colby said, I'm looking over and I see the Kier mode name bubble pop up a lot, and you can just imagine the trash talk that's going on right now.
No. We're just waiting.
Yeah,
Like this first game's kind of a drag, if we're being honest, right? Like it's just like
Yeah.
we're just watching Donovan slowly die, and there hasn't really been that many engagements.
Hey, there's a vehicle.
Yeah, there we go. I think if Donovan would have drawn like the noble sack right after the New Hope, he might have actually been able to pull the game back in.
Okay, so Colby's saying right now that he's been under the impression that he hasn't been able to target Winter all game because he thought the armor was active, but it's not.
Oh,
But in the same point, like she's had a shield like the whole time, anyways, aside from that first turn.
yeah. The window to hit Winter would have been that first turn that he played her. I think if you don't get her there to soften her up, you're just never going to get her.
So there goes the black 2. So he did have the sack.
Okay. You think you'd do that during a conflict, though? Unless he just plans on not attacking again.
It's possible. I mean, Colby would be in the same boat. Though he does know that he left a stay on target on top of Colby's deck. Surprisingly, no, like It's Beautiful for Colby, so like he would actually need to find an It's Beautiful to pick that black 2 up and replay it. I guess you could just draw the other one, but
I mean, he doesn't really need it to win. Dial's at 9. He can, like, the moment that Donovan attacks and invests cards, like Colby can just crack back and win.
Yeah, we know that Fell's probably coming right back. I mean, we've only seen what, like one stay on target this game.
Have we? I feel like he's well. Maybe it's just because Colby's been hard casting the pilots that it feels like we've seen a lot more.
I think okay. I think we've seen two maybe,
Oof.
and we know one's on top of the deck. All right, here's the first freeholder.
It's about time. So you know that one's going to be able to hit.
Oh, and a K2. All right, all right. This is what's known as a sign of life. A little late. but late.
Yep. Well, the good thing is with those two, he can swing, commit nothing in edge, and know he's going to get damage through.
Where'd the rest of his money? Oh yeah, the X-wing. Yeah, the X-wing and sacrifice. Yeah. I mean, if you're Donovan here, do you just wait a turn, or do you just go break an objective?
Well, I think you for sure send the two guys that Colby just can't block. I mean, he could block them, but like both of those dudes are going to get their damage through. So if you just send those at the bottom, that's a guaranteed objective kill. And then you get some game points.
Yeah, but I mean, at the bottom objective is a little weird, right?
Well, because like Colby's going to block, right? I mean, I guess he can, but he can shield the other one too.
Yeah, I mean, if Colby wants to save points here, he can double block and shield the objective, but or just let it go and pat yourself on the back for doing well enough. Like even if he blows this bottom, even if he blows the bottom objective up, he's only getting 4 points.
It's something. It lets him, what's it called? It lets him buy another turn. Because I actually don't know if Colby can finish him off with the board he has this next turn. If Donovan just keeps all of his cards and keeps a shielded winter.
All right, we have a Delta 1 block. Let's see where the shield goes. If the shield goes anywhere. There we go.
Donovan, I don't think has any heats in his deck.
Yeah, he has no friendship as magic, right? Yeah, he doesn't really have icon gain or extra oomph.
He could play the what's it called? The event reducer, and then potentially pull a trick.
No, that he burnt that with the winter enhancement.
Oh.
That's in the bin. All right.
You knew that was coming.
Well, I don't know. I think, yeah.
So maybe just send Willard at the middle. Well, maybe not. Because Fell and the other ships still get 6 on the 4th.
Just needed to send the 1-drop with that to be able to blow it up through a Delta 1.
Well, if you send the 1-drop, he just kills the 1-drop, right? Well, never mind. Forward reconnaissance would have got him.
Yeah, I feel like if Donovan saved the Akbar event, he'd have been able to maybe get 2 objectives here. Because like if he did that block with the black 2 out. And then he could have just blown out, you know, in tactics one. Looks like Donovan's going for just 1 game point here.
Yep. I mean, Colby probably should have blocked that with the interceptor. Well, we'll see if the 1 game point matters, but in some of these games, like, it does.
Oh, yeah. Donovan still could take the force then. Yeah, you're right.
And so Donovan only has 2 cards.
Yeah, Donovan's on top 2 cards, so it looks like this would probably be the last turn.
Yeah, this is where you just pitch dots and then say I got 6 cards plus edge 3 coming in at the middle.
Yeah, Colby just needing 1 objective here.
And that's a tie attack squadron. Yeah, this is over.
Yeah, I'm looking at Donovan's list again.
Well, you can only ever have 6 pips. He already burned both twists, so if Colby puts 3 pips in edge, it's over.
All right, and there's game 1. Merrick steal from hand for 4 damage to the objective. Alright.
Yeah, I feel like that last turn, Donovan really could have farmed that a lot better. Because the Baron fell was already on the table, right? So you could have engineered like that same attack with the ship on the board. And
Yeah,
then Donovan...
maybe gotten the ship's blast off too.
Yeah, well, I'm also just thinking like you could prevent the Baron fell from getting back on the board, so you could take the force, maybe buy an extra turn, or you can possibly get the ship to get a little bit of value. Because if Donovan floats $1, Colby has to assume that the event's coming, and he has to play around it. And then maybe he just messes up.
I mean, Donovan could have also had like an infiltrate, or I guess he couldn't have had the one last trick.
But I think there's a world where he is able to get an objective, hold the force, and then still have like a shielded winter. So that Colby just looks and says, you know what, I don't need to try to win this turn. I'll just hold off for 1 more turn. All right, so on this one of the nice things Donovan has going for him with his dark side is that he doesn't have characters. So Colby's best control piece with the Pyre is just gone.
Yeah, Colby's Pyre is 4 pips. The other thing is Donovan can just literally win out of anywhere almost. Like he's got
How many Wellicums does he have in that deck?
he has 5 on taps. Well, he has 4 on taps plus 1 on tap for a Virago or Hunter. So he has 2 well equips, 2 Talon rolls, and 1 of the Black Sun on tap.
Yeah, and what's relevant with that is that like those untaps are free. So it's not like he. So
Those
you have
come
free untaps with what's it called? With guys that have 2 blasts. Like
with 2 blasts,
the-
and if you find Merrick with it, like it's just a full objective eaten each time.
does he have 2 merits? Yeah.
Yeah. He has less defense than Colby, but way more offense than Colby's tie deck.
Yeah, Colby's light side, he has a lot of combat tricks. So I think if Donovan gets into a race, he can realistically win that. But I think if he gets into a battle of tricks, I think Colby just has him there. Because like the heats are relevant, the stunning blows are relevant. He can flash in extra guys from Trust the Force. Also, he has things like
Donovan
stay
also
on
has
target
3
Luke.
event cancels in his deck.
Aren't those expensive though? Like it's like one of them you have to pay $2 to get it on the board, and then leave it untapped.
Yep.
And then what's the other one that he has?
The double crossing droid. That's a horrible one, but it's still an option. Like if it's one that you don't want to start on the table, but it's one that you want to flip into late. Like if they already have an objective or 2 taken, and you have some damaged objectives, and you get that as a fresh one, then it can save the game. But yeah, it's definitely not one you want to see at the start of the game because there's not many events that you want to cancel for 2 damage.
Yes, I do think Colby needs to be very paranoid of the ties coming out of nowhere with Blast.
The other question is
But-
if you're Donovan and you see the Virago objective, do you start it or not?
No.
I mean, I guess the only real big thing is it will turn the B-Wings elite off.
Yeah, because like you're not turning off the pilots. So because it's like the elite's useful, I guess. Getting rid of the land speeder is okay, I guess.
Also,
I don't see anyone else.
is if you have the vehicle heat, the deal 1 damage to a vehicle free event, and Colby plays a generic snow speeder, do you just burn that off the board instantly before you can throw Luke on it? Like just assume he has them?
I think I would wait. Just because like if the net result of him having the Luke is he like pays $4 either way, that's not that big of a deal. And also there's going to be scenarios where Colby will attack with the ship thinking I'm going to get this tactics off.
Yeah.
And then discover that he gets blown up and then maybe his Luke gets tapped down or something. Like so even if he gets Luke, it's not like you're hosed. Like your whole play doesn't evaporate. So yeah, I would probably sit on it.
And I think the best that credits can buy starting objective really just depends on what his other options are.
Well, doesn't he need a green? Or
No, he has a green affiliation card. I mean, it is good for him to have 2 green out, but he also has 2 It's Beautiful, so that's usually not going to be an issue.
Oh, okay. Then he should definitely not start that objective because he only has 4 red. So he needs a red. He needs the gray. Would probably want to have at least 2 of one of those colors, I think.
Top objective is.
That's Empire's Elite, right?
The promo is Baron. I'm not sure what his top objective is.
His top one's Defense Protocol.
Okay.
That's a good flop.
Yeah. I mean, though, I definitely prefer a shuttle objective. But
I mean, defense protocol against Colby's really good. He has a lot of 1 health derps.
hey, Colby already letting out a sigh about Donovan finding $2 more on turn 1. Yeah. Turn your fucking mic off.
He found $2 more in his first turn than Colby found the whole game.
Yeah.
Donovan does have a lot more money than him, though.
Yeah. Yeah, Colby's only on, what, like 5 to Donovan's?
Let me see here.
I've actually
Donovan
counted.
is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Donovan has $7. Colby has
Kind of
1,
is. I
2,
think
3,
7's about what you
4.
want to run when you're on Emperor's Shadow.
Actually,
anyways.
no. Colby has more than I thought. He has 6.
Oh yeah, because he has the 2 It's Beautifuls too. So.
Yeah.
And the 4 pilot money. Honestly, even bigger is Donovan having the pilot money right off the bat too. That's what Colby was really hurting on. Because I mean, he hard cast most of those pilots last game.
Did Donovan just let him keep force?
Yeah. Donovan, like our games especially, like had a bunch of issues with that tie just getting overlocked every turn. I mean, if you don't have the Baron, I think it's maybe fine just giving him the ping.
This is not the start that Colby wants. Well, unless that Owen becomes someone relevant.
Oh yeah, it's cracking right away.
Okay, not the start he wants.
Yeah. I feel like I would have maybe just like held the key in and left the Owen out for a bigger later.
Kian's a force holder. Like, he's not bad. It's just if that's like, I don't know, anyone else that he could play with the Owen, it feels a lot better.
Though this is a pretty good start for Colby. Like he's got the 3 extra cards sitting underneath, and he's on 2 tactics. So Donovan's gonna have a hard time being aggressive here. Which actually, like both of their light side decks, their angles to win is to maybe hope the other player like overextends a bit. Oh, and we're having an attack right away.
So my guess here is Colby's just trying to get rid of cards, but he might have like a stunning blow to be able to threaten the extra tactics and overlock the ship. So if he can win edge and he has a stunning blow, then that ship's overlocked, and now this turn feels a lot better.
Yeah, stunning blow and maybe the other Ewok too. So, I mean, if he wins edge, he'll still be able to overlock it.
Well, Colby does. He's gonna win edge. He has 2 of the Luke objectives.
Oh yeah. Then again, yeah, he's gonna. If Donovan gets Colby to burn some cards underneath there, that'd be worth this anyways. Because Colby's kind of like 1 card in hand. Hey!
A million pips.
Yeah, that's a good burn of a 6 pit that you don't have to worry about later.
Yeah, you better shield that tactics, bud.
Yeah, you definitely shield the first one because you're gonna have to shield the tactics later anyways. Because we're trying to kill the guy.
Or sorry, I meant soak the tactics. Because like, I don't know, man. That now you just get overlocked. Like, is it more valuable to have your blocker or to get rid of the Ewok? And I kind of feel like having your blocker is more relevant.
He's maybe not caring about. I mean, he still has 4 untaps that can happen to that. That thing might not be overlocked. Plus, this way he might have a free board. Because if he just took the tactics, then I feel like Colby like holds the Ewok back. We might just see a Talon.
Sure. Okay, now that makes sense.
Yeah. Here's a Talon roll to block the Kian.
See, I would prefer the Talon roll to block the Ewok.
Um,
Because that Keen is just not a threat on the board.
he maybe just doesn't want that 2 damage. Plus, if he does it here, like he incentivizes the Ewok attack.
Sure. Okay. If you know you have a tie attack squadron, this move feels really good.
Yeah, that's good news for Donovan. The Ewok attacking, because now he can go turn those Luke objectives off without like sweating.
Would you prioritize turning off the Luke objectives or blowing up Owen's objective?
Probably the Lukes, maybe. I mean, I think it depends on what you find. Like, if you have a bunch of tiny guys, maybe you just damage up the Lukes.
Yeah, I mean, if you have like one big guy and like Merrick, like then you probably hit Owen. But if you have 2 little dudes, yeah, you're right.
Or if you're getting rid of the Ewok, maybe blow up the Owen. Like if you had a tie attack squadron, because Colby's tactics are kind of limited. So if you actually get the Ewok off the table, and Colby might not be able to drop more tactics, then you already have
Yes,
an objective gone.
I think only 2 of his pods have tactics.
Yeah.
Well,
So
3. He has like, the Chuds from the
from
Ewok. You have the Trust the Force Chud, and then you have the Land Speeder. That's it.
and I guess Pilot Luke.
Yeah.
But he's probably not going to block as much. Yeah. So if you're removing or overlocking the Ewok, I maybe blow up Owen, because then you maybe get in a situation where, because Donovan's deck can easily blow 4 objectives up over the course of a few turns. So getting an early objective lets you get the 4 objective win online earlier.
Donovan's gonna be on big money this turn too.
Yeah.
Is that $7 potentially? 8 when you count the pilot discount.
Oh, there we go. There's a good blocker. Like playing a Talon roll and drawing a card afterwards feels pretty good. Oh, that looks to be all his plays though.
Yeesh. Well, he's floating $1.
Yeah, he's floating $1. He's overlocking the Ewok here.
And he clearly wants to use the $, because he double tapped an objective to do it. Let me see what he could be playing here. He could have chain reaction. He could have the sword event.
I don't really know what you want to chain react here. But I mean, overlocking the Ewok isn't horrible.
So I think what he probably has here is just the hand. His Hand of the Emperor only costs 1,004 or lower.
Yep.
Oof, another Owen.
It could be the same Owen.
Now, in one of my games against Colby, he had like 4 Owens in the game. It felt pretty awful.
strangely, Colby's going to conflict here.
So maybe an unfinished business play.
I mean, nothing really hit yet, unless there's something juicy in that pile. Of
Yeah,
cards
he
on
might.
the table.
Like he could pitch a dude from there, and then that's 2 blasts or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know that you really fear. Like, there's no like, Chuck Luke or there's nothing that's taking a full objective with him.
Yeah, you also can't play unexpected assistance because you don't have a ready Ewok.
Yeah. All right, Owen's sneaking a damage through. Look at Owen's 2 butt coming in handy. Hey, Luke objective turn back on.
That stay on target's big sad.
A little bit.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, then there's even a key in the bin, so like.
So it looks like he just got a dead draw.
Yeah, looks like he got a dead draw. And here's where the Donovan maybe kills the Tauntaun. Just have a free.
He should.
Then again, if he does have an unfinished business, he might be saving it for defense, but he doesn't really have. I don't think he has any
I mean,
tactics in there.
you should kill the Tauntaun anyways.
Yeah. I feel like he'd kill a Tauntaun. Ooh, or maybe like chain react, kill the Owen. That'd be sweet.
Oh. Yeah, I guess you can do that.
Yeah, I feel like you just kill it.
So is the only guy that he can bring back
Is
a
Key,
Farlander?
I think, yeah. Yeah, I think Keaton's his only Jedi unit in the discard.
I guess it's 2 guns. It's not terrible, but I don't know. Because he is holding 2 cards, right? So you definitely have to think if his 2 cards are like a unfinished business plus any other card, that lets him get rid of his hand to draw for real cards next turn.
Alternately, you could have the other Pyre and just be trying to hold on a 6 pip card.
Hmm.
Or like another stay on target, like maybe he's only saving 1 stay on target. That's why.
I mean, if your turn was Tauntaun Owen pass, you need to dig for real guys.
Yeah. Also, he could have possibly had a stunning blow in hand. Then maybe the Tauntaun could have stopped something.
I see.
Oh, Donovan is. Oh my goodness, he actually hit.
What he hit?
Whiff on that. He hit a chain reaction.
Ooh. So for chain reaction, I guess he can rip the Ewok reaction. If you chain react a stunning blow, can you only tap your own guy, or can you tap anyone?
It has to be someone that took damage. Like it changed. You don't have to pay the costs anymore, but it doesn't let you change the targeting restrictions. I mean, he could just save it over and kill a 2 health unit with the chain reactor or with the defense protocol.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, or hell, the guy just fetched him a 3-pip card, and the guy gets to turn off a Luke objective. And I got dial at 4, so this will be the last turn that the event's cheap. There's some blast.
Does he have any open money?
No.
Okay.
Oh, he's sending the droid. He really doesn't want that Ewok to be blocking. Oh, he sent him at the bottom.
That's weird. I don't know why he's sending him there.
I think he's planning on doing 3 attacks, I suppose, but I feel like you just start by turning one of the Luke objectives off.
Well, unless you can deal 2 damage to each Luke objective, you might as well only have 1. Because I think like there is like a real fear that a Battle of Hoth can reactivate him, but he already burned one of them.
Yeah, so there's only 1 left.
So if you turn both of them off, it's like if one of them has 1 damage on it, he's just gonna choose that one to get healed.
Oh, ending conflict. He's just letting him roll both Luke objectives. I feel like maybe Donovan's a little demoralized from the last game. Oh, yep, he did have a stunning blow carried over.
I don't understand why you don't send the Chud in there. Because if like let's say he has an unfinished business and you're afraid he's gonna unfinished Farlander to just kill your guy, like whatever, then he burns a trick. Now you're giving Colby extra time to potentially play it for bigger value later offensively.
I feel like you turn at least one of the Lukes off. Honestly, I probably would have sent the Delta tie to put 2 damage on one of them too. I was a little surprised in the tournament pool nobody ran Evaporator Freeholders to make the Freeholders cheaper.
Yeah, no, the deck was sitting there. Like if you just go 2 Freeholders, 2 Owen, and then like a bunch of like 1x Jedi pods. Yeah, but I'm with you though. So someone should have ran that. Unless I think people maybe just like the smuggler tools too much. Because I think Owen overall was just underplayed as is.
Yeah, I think the Rebel toys are a bit more popular than I maybe thought they'd be. Like the Rebel decks seem pretty wide.
So Colby has 5 in hand, plus the 3, plus the 2 Lukes. Yeesh. Yeah, Donovan, it really feels like he dropped the ball that last turn.
Yeah, I mean after the slog of the last game, he might have just forgotten about the Luke objectives on that turn.
I will say keeping the shuttle up might have been a deterrent for Colby because he's like, I don't want to face down shielded shuttle where you're like, he's getting the 2 damage, and then if any of these other scrubs get 1, my my guy dies.
Yeah, I mean the other thing he has too is he has a black tactics with 2 shields available for it.
But either way, like at the very least, setting that tweet like at one of the Lukes feels like it's mandatory.
I feel like Donovan was pretty happy when Colby discarded that stunning blow, but he maybe has another one in there. All right, so the droid. All right, so we got that turret one away, which is actually pretty relevant because Donovan does have 2 heats in. Alternately, I don't know if you just use that to murder the Ewok and then just fly around turret.
Well, Chair's just like a pain in the ass to deal with, so I could see this because then you're looking and it's just so easy to take him out. 1 heat, 1 random gun.
Colby's blast, then you're pretty good. Like if you just get rid of Colby's blast, then you can take your time. But you can overextend and not care as much because Colby won't have as much of a crackback. Plus, right now, even if he doesn't attack, like he can murder turret next turn with the defense protocol.
I would send the green ship in there
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
because that's just like a really tough dude to block, especially when you can threaten 3 untaps.
I think I would maybe send the green ship with the 180 first. That way, if the Ewok blocks and the Ewok tactics is something at home, then the Ewok just dies.
I think Colby might be okay with that. The 181st is an elite.
Yeah, but I mean, the more tactics that Donovan can not have to attack into, the better his life's going to be. Especially while all of Colby's cards have +2 edge. So with a dark side deck this aggressive, sometimes you just have to like balls to the walls and just gamble on them not being able to kill you on the crackback.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, one of the barrel rolls is gone.
Yeah, so he's down to 4 on taps now. But we also haven't seen a pilot come out yet, so the well-equipped isn't doing anything right now.
Donovan has a lot less pilots than Colby does, though, because Colby's running both of the stay on target pilots, and then he's also running the
Yeah, I mean
the double pilot pod.
like 6.
Yeah.
He has the little shuttle shitter. Alright, so he just takes the force back, no seats to worry about, so that's pretty safe on that droid. He's got 3 shields to for defense.
Does that droid have elite?
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually, in my game against Colby during the rounds, I had the bounty hunter tutor, and I went and got him instead of Aura, just because he was elite. Colby even remarked, "Yeah, it's pretty bad when you don't even go get your own card."
Yeah, your card sucked, dude. Every time I played her, she didn't really do a whole lot. The fact that she doesn't have the second gun is brutal.
No, actually, she would have been fine. I feel, but there was a stealth nerf. Like the card Tyler, like, okay, this is good. This is what it's gonna be. Approved is different than the one that was printed in one way. Originally, she could cancel fake cards. Like, I was fine with her being weird statted if she could cancel a twist.
Her most valuable utility was being able to cancel, what's his face,
Block-
Chirrut's interrupt.
Yeah. Also, blocking Rex all day is pretty funny too.
What she needs is a way to easily slide in and out of conflicts. Like she needs Hondo, basically.
Yeah. Imagine that. All right. So yep, we were right about Donovan sitting on the event. Colby sending some tactics over. All right. And we have a shielded black tactics and a 4 health unit blocking. That's gonna be a dead Ewok, I'm thinking. Was that chip hardcast or business? I missed that.
I think he hard casted it.
Okay. Oh yeah, because he has $3 spent. That's all he played. Yeah, I'm also thinking Colby is sitting on his other stay on target. Because that Luke didn't accidentally end up in the discard pile.
He didn't pitch him for edge, right? He just discarded him.
I think he pitched him at start of turn, so I think he had the other stay on target. Which isn't really going to do anything now because all his guns can just go into the Ewok. I mean, at this point in edge battles, if you're Donovan, I think you just try to set up your blocks so you don't. You're just assuming you're losing edge, and then just only use your cards to maybe get cards out of Colby
Yeah, that's about right.
and fix your hand. Oh, the Virago was kind of neat.
Could Virago even take anything?
He
Because
could
they can't take elite, right?
No, he could take nothing. Let me look at Colby's deck again. Yeah, nothing.
You know, I wonder if last turn was just a turn that Colby needed to attack, because Colby or Donovan was tapped out. So maybe Colby just didn't have the tricks to be able to stare down all the black guns with the turret.
Yeah, I mean he had a fair amount of black guns and shield, and he wasn't really killing a whole lot. Like I guess he could. I think he could have killed off the Delta,
But then like shuttle the Chud and the 181st, that's just like way too much.
look
So
at spread
this,
of 1 damages here.
that just feels dumb. Kill the Ewok, bud. What are you doing?
I'm guessing he probably carried the heat over, and he's just gonna defense protocol to right off the table here.
Yeah, because I mean, I would definitely rather kill the Ewok over the land speeder right here, just because you don't want that land speeder coming back with the unfinished business. But I don't know, the splitting feels
Yeah, if he defends
irresponsible.
right here. All right, so we have a Luke on ground between conflicts. much. I feel like you can just block with the
Yeah,
180
you-
first, maybe.
You
Well,
probably 181st can block it, and that's fine.
maybe 180 first and the Twi'lek.
Well, you don't want the Twi'lek to die. That thing actually has value for you to, at the very least, turn off Luke's objective.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you maybe save the 180 first if he has a heat.
Well, the 181st would be overlocked. So, like, the 181st, if you can make him burn a heat, I don't think that's all that bad. And then you get your force card back.
All right, so here's a potential objective blowing up attack here. Oh, and he's attacking the one with 2 damage on it. I don't know, maybe you just let this go.
Wait, he's talking with both? Oh, okay, yeah, you definitely let that go.
Or stand, well, yeah, because you're not winning edge. I guess if you have a heat, you can block and kill the turret with something. Like if you
You
block
could.
with first and bit a heat, then
The only
they-
credible block is you send both the Chud and the 181st and force Colby to have a heat to
no,
prevent the
'cause
turret from dying.
still blows up.
But I feel like Colby, if he's making this attack, he should have a heat.
Or is the tapped objective? Is that sideways objective where the last attack was?
I don't know. I mean, he didn't get any damage through. So there seems to be confusion on where the land speeder attacked.
Yeah, the land speeder attacked the middle and tacked into defense protocol.
Okay.
Now he's straight up attacking defense protocol. He's just trying to save his turret's life, pretty much, it seems.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, blocking 181st plus Chud, that seems like a worthy gamble to try to kill the turret.
Alternately, you could, if you maybe you can sack the Delta 1 here to save the objective. Like, just block with all 3 and shield the objective.
The objective, doesn't it already have damage on it?
It has
Yeah.
3 damage on it, but that would require him having a heat.
So I'm thinking, like, let's say Delta 1 shields the 181st. Now that guy has 4 health. He's going to kill turret. Like, if you just come in with 3 guys that have black guns, the turret's gone. And now you're probably going to lose Delta 1 and the Twi'lek in that exchange.
Which honestly, Delta 1 isn't that important of a piece of the equation here.
I do think taking out turret's important, though.
Like, honestly, if Donovan, let's see, the dial's at 5 going to 6. If Donovan finds a Merrick and 1 untap, he can just end the game pretty much. So I think you can just throw the Delta in the garbage if there's a chance to kill the turret here.
Because I'm thinking, okay, if he blocks with all 3, shields the 181st, Colby would need to have, I think... Actually, I don't think there's any way for him to save the turret in that scenario.
No, I think Colby just takes the objective and it's happy.
I mean, honestly, even like, well, I mean, if he blocks 181st plus the Twi'lek, Colby can get out of it with like heat, stunning blow combos. But if the shield's involved and there's 3 guys he has to deal with, there's just really no way he can get out of it. Okay, and it looks like Donovan's just giving him a walk.
Yep.
So I guess keeping the other ships, it gives you 2 extra blast.
If he's rolling to, I think he's at 5 going to 6, so he can, like, he can just end the game right here.
Let me see here.
The odds are very non-zero that he ends the game.
He needs to rip 5 blast off the top.
American and untap.
Yeah, that would get you there. I mean, Merrick untap, that's 6 blasts basically that he would rip. He has enough money that he could just play guys though.
Yeah.
I wonder if with Colby, if that was just a game play or a game points play. If he's like, yeah, I'm dead anyways, might as well guarantee this objective's gone.
I think Colby's also in the boat where he's just trying to bet that Donovan doesn't win. Like using the unfinished business there was kind of like he basically used the unfinished business for 1 damage. Because like, if he didn't use the unfinished, then Colby just blocks with the like sacks the delta and shields the objective.
Yeah. Because Colby has no money. So yeah, find 5 blasts and then you win.
Yeah. The other funny thing with the 1 damage on the land speeders, we might see the force choke.
Oh, yeah, clever.
Yeah, I mean Colby. Oh yeah, he had the heat. He discarded it. He just discarded a heat before drawing.
Who, Donovan?
Yeah.
So that seems like you should have.
No. He drew it off the Vaporator.
Oh.
Okay, so that's both of Donovan's heats are gone now. Because both have been discarded during draw phase. Alright, Headhunter paid for.
So there's 2 blasts.
And above 2 blasts, there's some board clearing.
Just gotta find 3 more, bud. I mean, if he's thinking about it, he probably doesn't have it, would be my guess.
I think he's thinking to not mess it up here. I think he has it right now, he said.
Oh, okay.
Looking at Colby's list again, there's like nothing.
Okay,
Colby
so if he's attacking now, that means he has to have some sort of an untap. I don't know where he's getting the extra blast from. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
So there's 2. So he needs 1 more blast. So maybe like a Black Sun on tap or something.
I definitely hope it's a Black Sun on tap. He's not even bothered putting anything in for the targeted strike.
He said there's a twist.
Yeah. There's a twist to kill a turret. And then I hope it's the
Hey, there it is. Okay, so Colby gets 4 game points on that. So we might look back in that game 1 where Donovan just kind of screwed the pooch on that last turn and didn't get the objective. That capped him at 3 game points.
Yeah, so Colby's ahead but only by 1, so that can change by a lot. Also of note, nobody has to drink right now or stop drinking.
Well, I remember in the Colby versus Carlos game, they actually tied for game points. And so
They had to write off the last one.
I think they had Darkseid win every single game as far as I remember.
Oh geez, yeah.
So that's where it's like, you know, if you're Carlos, you got to be like, hey man, I really couldn't have squeezed 1 more game point out of that.
Yeah. I lost the match on a coin flip. Cool. All right. I'm gonna AFK a second.
Okay.
Grab a drink myself. I'll be back before they start. Oh.
All right, so switching sides again, we saw Donovan's deck get smoked pretty hard. I think I personally underestimated how much Donovan having a bunch of dudes with 2 health would be. Now, granted, that was against a double defense protocol, but even against one defense protocol, Colby has heats, and he has a bunch of guys with like 1 gun that's black. So if Donovan's guys attack and then Colby just blocks with 2 dudes, it's really easy for him to get 1 damage on him to soften him up, and then the defense protocol finishes him off. So that might just be an issue. So we'll see if Donovan's able to weather the storm. I think he might need those freeholders a lot quicker than he got them last time. And then hopefully find his tricks in the right order where he can actually do something. Because like I feel like last game we just pretty much watched Donovan do nothing for 10 straight turns, which is honestly miserable. It must have sucked for him, but it also sucked for us as viewers. And it took forever. So we'd hope to see a better game here. I think Mirax also is someone that's more interesting. Cool. Are you you just gotta let you know what's gonna happen, bud. You know. Yep. Yeah, mix a resource is just like so absurd. Thankfully, it was attached to one specific pod, but like I know the pod I wanted it to be in, I think would have been less of an issue. Like my vote went to put it in the Inquisitor pod. Yeah, like the capital T Inquisitor. It would go over his lightsaber. So the idea of it was, if you put it in that pod, Inquisitor becomes the only red card in the pod. Everything else is either neutral or 0. And then he would just be like a very splashable pod. Whereas like if you put it with Merrick Steel, you can kind of only put that in pilots. Cool.
All right, I'm back.
Cool. Colby just popped in for a little bit to complain about Donovan's start, which I think was warranted.
Oh no, that was not a start to complain about. Against me, he had double shuttle objective, double it's beautiful, like right off the bat. And then the turn after that had double shuttle money, so like 2 possible event cancel online. Like,
Hey Josh, so one thing I was wondering is, did I personally underestimate how much Donovan having mains that are 2 health would be a problem against defense protocol?
I don't think it would have been as big of a problem if Colby didn't have 2 of them. Like, if they could at least show some sign of life, aside from taking the force and dying horribly. But
Because what I'm wondering is, like, for attacking purposes, right? If Donovan attacks with a dude that has 2 health and Colby just blocks with like 2 derp ships that each have a black gun, if that softens the guy up to then get defense protocoled, does that make it so Donovan doesn't do the attack and kind of puts him in another holding pattern?
yeah, well, and also like Donovan relies really heavily on like single mains to do a lot of work, and Colby having 3 just hard taps that Donovan can't do anything about, like at action speed.
Yeah.
See, the cards that Donovan really doesn't want Colby to see are the defense protocols and also the TIE pilot, who gives him all the black gun.
I mean, she's a beast. I love that girl a lot.
Like, honestly, I feel like you run that pod just for her. Like, the rest of the cards are kind of whatever. Like,
Yeah,
fine.
Night Beast is cool. The ships are neat.
Yeah, they're cool, they're neat. They could be any other pod. Like, I feel like the whole reason you run that pod is just for her. Like, the second she hits a table, your game changes.
Yeah, the objective is also bonkers too.
Yeah, the objective's not bad, but like her hitting the table turns any single tie in Colby's deck into murdering a main of Donovan's. Any random tie you